supernatural business. Now that name jumps out at me, and I suspect it does with a lot of our viewers as well. Can you tell me, what does it mean to do business supernaturally? It's not something people normally think about.
My theory is, if you're going to be a believer and go into business, you don't want to do it on your own.
Yep.
So if you take supernatural, it's made up of two parts, super and natural. And I think that if we do our natural bit, God could add the super.
Yep.
But if our natural is not in order, there's no super to be added. So what we're talking about here is collaborating with God, co-laboring with God, and doing it together, and starting to witness signs and wonders in business. You know, we've had them in healing ministries for years and revival meetings.
Yep.
Now we need to see supernatural manifestations in board meetings and at water coolers. You know,
fantastic.
That's really the essence of it.
Yeah. And obviously you can make a far bigger difference when God's on your side,
well,
and giving you divine strategies for how you actually go about your business.
I think that, you know, if we can see it up to here, then all of a sudden we can go to the next stratosphere if we get that bit right.
Yeah, and really start trying to win back our culture.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And I know this coming weekend you've got your Kingdom Business Summit, which sounds very exciting. And on your website you mentioned about helping people achieve quantum growth, which certainly sounds very good. So when you say quantum growth, what does that mean to you? And I guess if there was one key thing that someone's got to do to achieve that, what would that be? So
quantum growth for me is, if you take a biblical context, is working in multiples, not fractions.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the hallmarks of the Babylonian system is that people are getting 4 or 5% on their money, which means you double your money never, because it's eroded at inflation at the same rate. Yeah. Okay, so that's a problem. I'm looking at people that can have a business doing $100,000 and go to 200,000, or 1 million to 2 million, or 2 to 4. So working in multiples of their number. I'll give you an example. 2 young fellas came to me just under 2 years ago, about 21 months ago, electrical contracting business. And they came to me, and that year they had turned over $80,000 between them in their first year. And they came to me and said, you know, this is hard, what do we do, how does it work? And they were full-on believers. So, you know, I took them through warfare and things like that, and how to own the space that they were in spiritually. Diligent, they work hard, they were working, you know, really big solid time, making sure that they win in the market, they were delivering a great product. The next year they did 700,000. Last year they did 2.4 million, and this year they do 10 million, if not 12.
Wow.
2 years after doing 80,000, so it's like 100-fold return.
Yeah.
But what are the things that make that happen?
Yeah, that was my next question.
A lot of hard work, playing to their strengths. So when they came to me, they were doing domestic electrical work where they'd move a power point for Aunt Mary, and yet their background was big commercial contracts.
Yeah.
And that's where they really wanted to be. So so there's a practical element to quantum growth, like doing what you're really, really good at.
Focusing.
Yep. And so they just play in that space. They don't try and do anything else. That's just what they do. The warfare was vital for them. So that, you know, they're doing warfare over their quotes and their contracts and their tenders, saying if I'm not meant to get them, I don't want them. But if I am meant to get them, you know, tell the devil where to go type warfare, and very vocal about that. Yeah. And then a lot of it was the favour that we talked about. It's supernatural for them. Yeah. That they scratch themselves and go, how did we get here in 2 years? Yeah. But having said that, they're up early, they're diligent, they have their prayer time, you know, they're quoting, they meet all their deadlines, they recruit their team really, really well, they've got a great culture in the business, so all of that really practical element of the business, and they market like crazy. Yeah. You know, they are out marketing their business all of the time.
So they're working on the business, not just in it.
That's right. Yeah. They actually don't work in it at all anymore. Yeah. I got them both out to work on it, and that's why it's really, really fast growth.
Yeah, fantastic.